In 1984, radio listeners throughout Australia will be introduced to an innovative and exciting concept in AM stereo radio. In southern Queensland, Radio 10 leads the way in providing the listener with the latest and best available sound in AM stereo. July the 1st, and two major events took place in Brisbane. Radio 10's new $2.5 million AM stereo studios were born, and the infamous Boy George and Culture Club arrived in Brisbane for the start of their Australian tour. Combine the two, and the result is the closure of one of Brisbane's major arterial roadways. Boy George officially opens Radio 10's new studios.
Radio 10, it's 2:20, and good afternoon to everyone on Coronation Drive, getting ready to welcome Culture Club to the official opening of Radio 10's offices this afternoon. Gets underway around 4 o'clock, and if you're thinking of driving along Coronation Drive, be aware it will be closed between 3 and 5.
Hours before Boy George's expected arrival at Radio 10, and fans were already converging outside the building. Meanwhile, no more than 10 kilometres away at Brisbane's airport, Boy George and Culture Club had arrived. Screaming fans greeted the boy in scenes reminiscent of the early 60s visit by the Beatles. While Boy George and Culture Club rehearse at Festival Hall for their first Australian performance, thousands of fans have now converged to Coronation Drive.
Radio 10, it's 3:29, and southern Queensland certainly turned on the weather this afternoon. It's looking good outside at the moment, but to give us an idea of how things are going, here's Phil Darkin.
We're having a ball out here, thank you very much. We're having a ball out here on Coronation Drive, where the road is in fact closed to traffic. It's closed until 5 o'clock between Park and Sylvan Road, so if you want to come down through Coronation Drive, there'll be a bit of a hassle trying to get through. At 4 o'clock, Chris Lee will be parachuting onto the barge in the river from way up yonder. Passing over
and some fans even took to Brisbane's waterways for an even better vantage point.
Of exactly how he's going to land. He watches it from the plane just to see where it lands, so he knows where he's going to land and what sort of control he can have over his parachute. He's wearing the life jacket, and also we have a boat standing by. He's, I would estimate, a couple of 100 feet off the deck at the moment, just coming down very lazily, the huge Radio 10 logo blazoned on this square parachute. And let's give him a round of applause. He's going to land right on the barge, about 20 feet, 10 feet. He's down. Brilliant. And that's Chris Lee, ladies and gentlemen, one of our hit music Radio 10 announcers. Back to you, Marty.
With Chris back on dry land, well, almost, Brisbane media joined forces on land, water, and even in the sky to cover the day's events and, of course, the moment everyone had been waiting for.
Radio 10, it's 4:32. Let's hear it for the boy. Radio 10 Coronation Drive. It's not long, he's on his way.
On Coronation Drive with thousands, literally thousands of people, we've got Boy George arriving in his Tarago van. If you people around the barriers could please stay back, don't push too hard. We don't want to get anybody hurt here today. Thank you very much for your cooperation. The van is just coming into our parking area in the front here under the Radio 10 revolving sign. And very shortly, the Boy George and his entourage will be out and on the stage. We'll be able to have a word with him. He's dressed in his black leotards, from what I can gather, and in a pink, shocking pink, long coat. And it's pandemonium here. Everybody's going wild. They really are. Boy George, welcome to southern Queensland.
Hello.
What do you think of your welcome so far?
Very good. I'm just embarrassed.
Look, we're just so pleased for you to come here for the opening of our Radio 10 studios. And it's just, look at these people here. What are you got to say to them?
Hello.
He can't get a word in. Everybody here is just flashing cameras. It's amazing. We've got video cameras here from every station in southern Queensland. We've got cameras here from every household in Queensland. We're having a ball here. We would now like to present you with a bunch of 3 dozen red roses. Julie would like to do that. Julie, give George a kiss. Give him a big kiss. That's nice. Thousands and thousands of envious girls here today wishing they could kiss you. I beg your pardon?
I'm cutting a ribbon.
You're cutting our ribbon. Would you like to go down now and cut the ribbon? Ladies and gentlemen, Boy George. Somebody's thrown up a doll for him, a doll dressed up in Boy George garb. That's landed on the stage here. He's now making his way down off the stage. Everybody clamouring for a good view of him, especially our cameraman here from just about every channel, in fact, every channel. He's now cutting the ribbon. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Radio 10 studios and Coronation Drive are now officially open. And now, as Boy George moves through the front door of our building, on the left-hand side, he'll come across our plaque, and he will be drawing that, and that'll be there forevermore. He's just gone inside. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great day for Radio 10. We do feel proud, and we'd like to thank you, the listeners, and of course you, the people who are here live, for turning up for the opening of these studios for Hit Music Radio 10.
Soon after the official unveiling of the plaque, and Boy George is escorted to Radio 10's boardroom for an all-in press conference. In attendance were invited representatives from Brisbane's radio, television and newspaper media.
Radio 10, it's 4:54. And I tell you what, we've got somebody here that'd like to say hello to Brisbane. How are you?
Hello, Brisbane. This is Boy George on Radio 10.
You finally made it.
Why was I late?
Well, we were wondering at one stage if the air check had taken a bit long.
Oh, I know. What happened the other day we did our press conference, they put in the paper, all they could write about was that we were 1 hour late. And all I can say is we're always late, but we're great.
Yeah.
Try anyway.
Well, that's good. Good to see you dressed up in your pink this afternoon. And what's that? Is that Australian? You got a Boy George?
It's a boomerang, yeah.
A boomerang.
So welcome to Australia, Boy George, which was given to me this morning by some sweet lady.
Oh, that's good. They've certainly turned on the weather for you, haven't they?
It's been great, yeah.
Yeah. What was it you said? You got out of the plane the other day and you said you'd rather be unemployed in Australia than in Britain?
Oh, I mean, I'm not unemployed, so it's a bit... But here, at least you've got countryside, you've got beaches and you've got seas. In England, all we've got is gasworks, and, I think that having a nice country makes people sort of very much more relaxed. I mean, I feel much more relaxed here than I would in New York. And we've been running around like, wild flies. And usually when you're doing that, no matter where you are, you're sort of like, you're tensed up. But here, there seems to be a very nice... I mean, I haven't met any creeps, but when I do, I'll kiss them and turn them into frogs.
I heard someone rang up this afternoon and said they saw you doing a bit of sightseeing. Have you been down the coast?
I went to Bondi Beach, yeah.
Bondi Beach?
Bondi Beach or Gold Coast?
The Gold Coast.
Oh, the Spit I went to. The Spit. The Gob, we call it in England. It's very crude. I actually got in the beach, but I'm the only person ever... There's 2 things I've achieved in my life. I've had a sauna in full makeup in Canada, because I couldn't bear for this creepy little attendant to see me. And I went on the beach today fully dressed and went in the sea fully dressed. So I'm pretty mad.
Well, does that transform on stage?
Pardon?
Does that transform on stage, being pretty mad?
No.
You get pretty serious then, do you?
Well, I think, like rock and roll is a very important sort of form of communication after sort of sex and conversation. It's probably the only thing left for us young people. And old people who feel young.
Right. Just come down from Japan. Did you enjoy the tour then?
I enjoyed it, but, it's nice to be somewhere where you can turn on the TV and understand what people are saying,
I suppose that's true.
Yeah, a lot of people come up and sort of, they're very subservient. They bow and say, hello, hello, and you never know whether they think you're a creep or not. Whereas down here, you got the, you know what people are thinking, which is nicer.
Well, your first concert for the Australian tour tonight.
Yeah, very nervous.
What do you expect? Are you nervous as some of the people were waiting for you downstairs?
Well, it's very small, the place. That's the first thing I thought, and it reminded me very much of Manchester, which is like a little place in England, and all I could think about was because we've been used to playing the big stadiums, so I think about all these people looking at my nose tonight and sort of visualising and looking at me, like very close.
But it's only the first 2 rows anyway, isn't it? That see you up your nose?
I don't know, that place is like so small, but it should be good. I hope everyone, whoever's coming to the show tonight, I hope they get up and dance. I mean, the whole idea of a culture club show, any show is to enjoy yourself. If you're a member of the press, I don't mind if you sit down and be cynical.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's many cynical people around this radio station.
No,
we go for it.
I think generally it's been really good in Australia. I mean, everyone I know that's been here has loved it. Even Marilyn, despite his black eye, he would come back tomorrow if he had the ticket.
One other question, just before we play one of your songs. It's a question a lot of people have been asking. It's when's the next album due out?
The next album comes out in October, and there'll be a single out about 2 weeks before then. It's a good album, and I hope it'll be worth waiting for.
I think everyone is waiting for it, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Thanks a lot for coming along and opening the brand new building.
Congratulations, and good luck with your radio.
Sunday, July the 1st, 1984. The birth of AM Stereo Radio 10. Twice as good and here to stay. Thank you, Virgin Records and Boy George.